The show that gets you ready for the week of football that lies ahead has returned. It's all things football, football unpacked. Show starts on a somber note following the passing of former Mamelodi Sundowns defender and Sebonga Zulu, who lost his life tragically in a car accident over the week. Sebonga Zulu was plying his trade in the APC. The 31-year-old was killed in a car accident on Sunday, the 16th of February, having played his trade with Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, just to mention a few. Also played for Bafana Bafana, where he earned some caps in the national team. In the accident, he was with his teammate, involved in a car accident. In the accident was his teammate and friend, and Masina also lost his life, leaving the football fraternity, heartbroken. Both sides, the set of players were on their way home after a game against Civil Stars. As they were playing their trade for the APC Motsepe League side Pezulu FC. We All Things Football would like to offer its condolences to both families of the Zulu and Masina families. Itilala Uktula Mageba. Thank you for your contribution to the world, your contribution and commitment to our football, as it will never be forgotten. Who will conquer Europe? Who will conquer Africa? Teams now know their fate as we approach knockout level. Good afternoon, welcome to it. This is All Things Football Unpacked. My name is Apiwe Roto. We're gonna talk all things football for the next hour or next couple of minutes. Plenty to talk about. Draws have been made. Fana's Chen qualifier squad has been confirmed. Starting with news making headlines in the world of football in the last week, a Real Madrid midfielder in Jude Bellingham is said to serve a two-match ban following his use of profanity in his red card in the game against Osasuna. In the game against Osasuna and also following this red card in the 1-1 draw against Osasuna on over the weekend. We're not sure what happened. Now we don't know the full story as to what happened, but I'm sure for those who heard for those who got the clip of the video, they understand what happened. Initially, there were talks of a huge ban imposed against the 21-year-old Englishman. However, the 12 match ban has now restricted to two. This comes after a red card that was shown by referee Jose Luis Montero for allegedly using foul and abusive language in the 1-1 draw against Osasuna. Uh, the F word, if one may add, which we can't use considering this is a family show. However, Bellingham insists that his words were misinterpreted, saying that he used the words in frustration. Yes, he did use certain words, the F word, out of frustration. As for who it was directed at, we don't know. However, the punish he will miss the games against Real Betis and Girona, just to mention a few, but will return for the Copa del Rey semi-final, as we saw him in the game against Manchester City in Real Madrid's win against Manchester City. On to our next story. Potential buyers of Royal M will have to carry the debt owned by Twitli Twatla, by Tussauds, which will need to be cleared. The club is said to be up for sale before the PSL consideration of liquidation. Uh, However, there are some potential buyers who have expressed desire in buying the club. The indications are that the club is up for sale before the consideration of liquidation and is believed to be in the range of 40 to 50 million rand. Clubs currently possible facing being expelled from the PSL, meaning the PSL will be reduced to 15 teams for the remainder of the season. The business owner, Sean Mkize, appointed a curator to run the team following the revelation that the club's tax owner appointed a curator following the revelation that Sean Mkize owns 40 million rand in taxes, or 40, but with the possibility of the club being sold by the curator in the near future. They could be allowed to finish the season as normal and fight for their place in the top flight. The challenge at the moment is that the club is carrying a huge amount of debt. New owners would have to settle themselves. One of the biggest club's debts is 15 million rand owed to Samir Nagovic, which has been ongoing, and the interest keeps piling up, according to his agent. Uh, and now this saga has seen, now if you remember clearly, the saga has seen the club said banned from they've been banned for the last 3 seasons from signing players until they clear the debt. In a statement that was made, to someone speaking to someone who had previously bought a status, they in a state they did make a statement saying, I quote, whoever buys it must buy it for whatever source is selling it for, but the debt will remain with the new owners. You'd need to honor what you owe Nokovic, you'd need to what you owe Nascimento, and all the contracts that were not fulfilled. Now, news coming in also is that all the should the team be sold, all the players that were part of the team will now be free agents and will be free to move to clubs of their choosing. Um, uh, the contracts that were not, the statement goes to say, this can include signing on fees. You must pay everything, even things like agents come into play, close codes. It goes on to say people underestimate the cost of owning a club. The costs are way too high. Now you must, and now it's been said that hence you find that teams are reluctant to sell players on a free, to let go of players on a free, because running a football club is the equivalent of running a business. You're running a is the equivalent of running a business. Whoever buys it must do proper consultation and understand what they're buying. But it's not clear yet at the stage how long it's going to take for the sale to go through. But the PSL will certainly need to have it done as soon as possible. If the club, however, has purchased this season, they'll have to keep the name, and name change, whether relegated or not, will only be granted in the new season. On to our other story. The stories continue as stories continue. Former Bafana international Tulani Serero's return to the Premier Soccer League has been confirmed. It looks closer and might be put in motion after getting an approval from Fomento Machine Integral. Now the 34-year-old will be returning to South African shores, having spent 13 years playing abroad, where he plied his trade for Ajax Amsterdam in the Netherlands alongside Vitesse, and most recently Al Jazeera in the United Arab Emirates Pro League, where he also won the league. The 34-year-old left the country in 2011, after having won PSL Footballer of the Season and PSL Players Player of the Season. Currently, he's in the UAE sorting out his family issues. According to speaking to Coach Mushin, he has stated that he has gone back to the Emirates as quickly as possible to sort out his issues. He made this he told journalists and after the Betway Premiership game against Chippa United, he has gone to get his family sorted out, bring them back home, and he is probably going to the Emirates and will be back on the weekend. So chances are he is currently back, or he's still coming back later, or probably tomorrow. Obviously, the game will be the next game. Cape Town City now face Amazulu, and will most likely be there. He will most likely be ready to take part in the team, and he will be registered by the citizens. On to our other story, Serie A side. Serie A side, Skukuna United head coach, Letlogonolo Siema, has expressed his reasoning behind playing Sean Mogaila and the game has expressed his reasoning behind playing Sean Mogaila in the game against in the game against Amazulu, where they won 4-2. Now the 4-2 over during midweek, if I'm not mistaken. Now the former Highlands Park and Royal M player has not featured in the game. Has not featured for this for Babina Noko since he was charged with culpable homicide, which claimed the life of a 9-year-old girl. And claimed the life of a 9-year-old girl, and saw her mother and a 13-year-old hospitalized as they sustained injuries. Now Mohaila has appeared in court twice. However, he made his first appearance in 2025, having last played football against Richards Bay on the 29th of October 2024. Speaking to the coach, to the mentor, he explained his reasoning, saying he is a player that has been registered to us. He had an unfortunate incident that happened, and the team gave him support and time to deal with it. Now he is back, and we are happy with the fact that with the and we are happy with the contribution we are happy with the contribution he made. He is a player that we know. He goes to say, he told media after the game against Amazulu, he goes on to say the only thing we are doing is that we are putting it, trying to that we put that behind our back, of course. Then we try to give him support so we can continue working for the team. Definitely, the team has been supporting him. You can see the way he's playing. It was very unfortunate, but it happens to any of us. Don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning what he did. Yes, he made a mistake. We do not know the full story. Uh, I'm sure he had no malicious intentions of the accident behind the accident, where the young 9-year-old lost her life, and the 13-year-old and the mother had to be hospitalized due to their injuries. Now the story goes. Now, the coach goes on to say, "You can see the way he's playing. It was very unfortunate. It can happen to any of us, but we need to support him in time, which he needed support and time, which he was given. Now it's time for him to go back to clear his mind with something. I'm happy with the performance after a long time." Close quote. On the other side, Serie A side, Atalanta are looking set to sell. Looking set to sell the African Player of the Year in Ademola Lookman come end of the season. This comes after manager Gian Piero Gasperini labeled the Nigerian attacker as one of the worst penalty takers he has ever seen, following a penalty miss against Club Brugge in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League playoffs, which took place on Tuesday, which they lost on 3-1. Lost 3-1, following short on 4-3 in aggregate. And the Italian side has leaving the Serie A side eliminated. Other teams that have been eliminated include Juventus and AC Milan, leaving Inter as the only side remaining from the Serie A to represent Italy. Now, Ademola Lookman was, if you remember clearly, at the end of the year 2024, the Nigerian was named Africa's best player following his exploits for the Super Eagles and Atalanta at the start of the year. Uh, the London-born Nigerian hit the ground running in a season that saw him provide 22 goal contributions, which include 15 goals and 7 assists. At the start of the year, helped the West African Giants to the African Cup of Nations final, where they unfortunately fell short to the host Ivory Coast. And of course, that hat trick that helped him, that helped his side, Atalanta, clinch the UEFA Europa League. This form saw him attract a lot of interest for in his services, but he decided to start the season in Bergamo, and he has begun the new campaign in 5 in form. 28 games into the 2024-25 campaign, he has provided 22 goal contributions. The 27-year-old, however, has not enjoyed the same success on the continental level and the Champions League, that is, compared to last season where he played in the Europa League. The winger released a statement after the Italian tacticians comments, claiming that one of the aforementioned insisted that he take the sports kick execute, but he also expressed sadness at his mentor's remarks. Usually, there are you must remember that there are players that are designed to take specific penalties. There are specific players in each team for certain positions. Now, it's not every day that you have, it's rare to have, and it's rare and disturbing and funny at the same time when you have players fighting over free kicks, set pieces that include free kicks, and of course penalties. According to the manager Fabrizio Romani, he will leave the club at the end of the season, as it was part of the plan, but the club intends to have words with their manager regarding the comments he made about the team's player. On to our other news, Bafana have announced their squad for the African Nations Championship qualifier against Egypt. While clubs have refused to announce their well, clubs have really most clubs have really refused to release their players. There are clubs who have willingly released their players. Most of them have not been starting for their actual clubs, namely Munapole Saleng and of course Donny Jansen at Supersport United, and of course the unsigned Sami Siabi, who is currently without a club. Bafana take on Egypt home and away on the 3rd and the 29th of March, I believe. While clubs have refused to release players for the two encounters, which get underway this week, the national team will be taken over by assistant coach Helmenem Kelele, which will only feature the championship. What you must understand with regards to the Championship of African Nations, or African Nations Championship, if you like, it doesn't fall under doesn't fall under FIFA, is not recognized by FIFA, and only features locally based players. This selected squad includes Samkelo Xulu, also Supersport United, Jody February from Supersport, Pamandla Gumede from Orlando Pirates, Aiden McCarthy from Kaiser Chiefs, Bilal Baloyi from Supersport, Yannis Folozi from Supersport, Tylon Smith from Stellenbosch, Atengwesi Mcaba from Supersport, Golden Arrows and Nduduzo Mhlongo, Mamelodi Sundowns' Terence Mashiko, Bongani Sam from Kaiser Chiefs, the unattached Semi Siabi, Azola Chobeni from Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns' Neo Mayema, Yanga Madiba from Orlando Pirates, Kutlano Litlako from Mamelodi Sundowns, Monapole Saleng, who has not seen much game time at Orlando Pirates, Donny Jansen from Supersport United, Geletzos Farmer from Kukune United, Dematsemu Matoti from Supersport, Tulani Mini from Stellenbosch FC, and Jamie Webber from Kukune United. On to our other news, let's have a look at your results starting from all the way back from 15th August. The Nedbank Cup the Nedbank Cup rather got underway recently. The Nedbank Cup round of 16 took place last week, dating back to the 15th of went to Wednesday, the 12th of February, which we confirmed for you. Let's look at what took place on the 15th of February, which was Saturday. We saw a hat trick from Tsegofasu Mabasa, giving Paris the 3-1 win over Baroka. Morimo Gallants proved too strong with that odd goal over Amazulu. winning by 1-0, while Kaiser Chiefs proved too strong for Chippa United, beating them by 3 goals to 0. While 10 men Orlando Mamelodi Sundowns were too strong from Penny home defenders, putting two past Penny home defenders in the first half in a game that saw Tashreik Matthews getting sent off. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure you can tell me what you think. You're free to talk to me about what you think, and of course, feel free to comment and hit the subscribe like on YouTube. The show is available on YouTube on the Emabahodo network, and of course the Facebook page. All things football Unpacked. Hit the like button. Please do follow. I appreciate the support. Not forgetting the like but the comments. Tell me what you think about the decision. Mamelodi Sundowns players have received 9 red cards in their last 6 matches, which has left has been which should be a concern for manager Miguel Cardoso. Goalkeeper shortstopper Dennis Onyango got his second red card recently, having gotten a first year red card and at the start of the season during the MTN 8 in the game against Polokwane City. So he is likely to set to miss 3 games as a result. Premier League fixture, English Premier League fixtures saw Liverpool put too strong for Leicester City, beating them by 2 goals to 0. Aston Villa and Ipswich could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Fulham winning against Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to 1. A hat trick by Ethan Mazraoui, who we're going to take a look at in the today's exclusive match of the week with Manchester United, Manchester City rather, welcoming Liverpool. Were too strong for Newcastle, beating them by 4 goals to 0, while Bournemouth beat struggling Southampton by 3 goals to 1. West Ham United were beaten by neighbours Brentford by a goal to 0, while Crystal Palace also fell short to David Moyes' Everton by 2 goals to 0. Sunday we saw Wolves fall short to Liverpool at Anfield by 2 goals to 1, while that odd goal by James Maddison was enough to see Tottenham Hotspur get a double over Manchester United. UEFA Champions League playoffs. For Tuesday, we saw the second leg. AC Milan and Feyenoord playing to a 1-0 draw, meaning Feyenoord will proceed with a 3-2 aggregate score. Will proceed with a 2-1 aggregate score, while Atalanta and Club Brugge, Atalanta lost by 3-1 to Club Brugge, meaning they fall short by 5 goals to 2 on aggregate. Aggregate FC Bayern Munich for sure played to a 1-0 draw with Celtic, meaning they proceed winning by 3 goals to 2, while Benfica and AS Monaco were played to a 3-0 draw, meaning Benfica proceed after winning by an odd goal in the first leg. Borussia Dortmund and Sporting Lisbon could not be separated, playing to a goalless draw. Meaning Borussia Dortmund will go through with a 3-0 aggregate, while Real Madrid were too strong for Manchester City, winning by 3 goals to 1. Thanks to a hat trick by Kylian Mbappe, which saw a 6-3 aggregate overall. Paris Saint-Germain, who put 7 past Stade Brestois, will play which put 7 past Stade Brestois, giving them a 7-0 aggregate score line. PSV Eindhoven beat Juventus by 3 goals to 1, meaning they won by 4 goals to 3 on aggregate. Midweek fixtures saw Betway Premiership results. We saw Betway Premiership midweek. Chippa United beating Cape Town City by 2 goals to 0. TS Galaxy won narrowly by TS Galaxy falling short narrowly, losing by 3 goals to 2 to Stellenbosch FC, while Kaiser Chiefs fell short to SuperSport United, who are on fire and had their misery piled on by their former players in Samuel Nakovic and of course Christian Saile, who now apply their trade for SuperSport United, beating them by 4 goals to 1 in a game that saw Gaston Serino getting sent off for a second bookable offense, while Polokwane City fell short to neighbors Magesi FC by an odd goal. Wednesday saw Golden Arrows and Golden Arrows versus Orlando Pirates postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Maruma Gallants and Sundowns, the game that saw Dennis Onyango get sent off for a second bookable offense. Sundowns came from a goal down to win by 3 goals to 1, while Skukwena United won 4 goals to 2 against Amazulu. English Premier League results on saw Premier Villa and Liverpool on Wednesday play to a 2-2 draw. Last night, the weekend kicked off with Staley's and Richards Bay play in the Battery Premiership, playing to a 1-0 draw. With Staley's having to come back from a goal down through a penalty, while English Premier League saw Leicester City fall short to Brentford by 4 goals to 0. Here's what you can expect as far as the weekend is concerned, and the week, of course. Let's have a look at the Nedbank Cup draw, the quarterfinal. That is, we are down to 8. We're supposed to bring you the draw. Here's how the fixtures look. As let's start with the UEFA Champions League. UEFA Champions League will see PSG take on Liverpool in the round of 16. Club Brugge will play Aston Villa, of course. Atletico Madrid will play Real Madrid in an all-Spanish derby. Real Madrid in an all-Spanish encounter in a Madrid derby, while PSV will take on Arsenal. Barcelona take on Benfica, or Dortmund take on Lille. Bayern and Munich and Bayer Leverkusen will face each other in a old German affair, while Feyenoord will take on Inter Milan in the last encounter. While in the CAF Champions League, Mamelodi Sundowns will face Esperance de Tunis, who eliminated them in the last tournament. MC Alger will face Orlando Pirates. Al Ahly will take on Al Hilal of Sudan, or Pyramids will take on Asfa in the last quarter final. Let's have a look at the Nedbank Cup draw. Let's have a look at the Nedbank Cup draw. The Nedbank Cup last 8, which is set to take place on the weekend of the 8th of March. Durban City will take on Marumo Gallants. Sundowns is still to be decided whether to play Royal AM, Milford, and Skukwena United due to the ongoing situation with regards to Royal AM and their money owed to SARS. Supersport United will face Orlando Pirates. Now these Supersport have not lost to Orlando Pirates in the Nedbank Cup, having fallen short by 4 goals to 1 in the Nedbank Cup final. That was in 2017. Whilst Stellenbosch will welcome Kaiser Chiefs in the Wildlands. Here's what you can here's what you can expect as far as today's matches are concerned. Chipper United welcomes Kukwena United in the Battery Premiership. Orlando Pirates take on Cape Town City, which kicks off in less than 45 minutes. Mamelodi Sundowns take on TS Galaxy. Kickoff for that fixture is at 5:45. Amazulu face Magesi in the last game, which kicks off at 8 o'clock. Sunday we'll see a double header with Maruma Gallants facing Polokwane City, while Supersport United will take on Galaxy on Golden Arrows in a game that will kick off at 5:45. Midweek fixtures will include Stellenbosch FC facing Magesi on Tuesday at the Danny Craven Stadium. Wednesday will see the only game, and Mamelodi Sundowns will be traveling to Skukwena United. Mamelodi Friday we'll kick off the weekend with Stellenbosch taking on Polokwane City. Premier League fixtures starting today, currently underway. We have Everton hosting Manchester United, while Bournemouth will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ipswich Town will take on Tottenham Hotspur in the Gold Rush alongside the Bournemouth game against Wolves. Southampton will take on Brighton. Arsenal will take on West Ham United. We close off the match. We'll see another game between Fulham and Crystal Palace, and of course the last game will see Aston Villa taking on Chelsea, a game which kicks off at 8:15. On to our Sunday fixtures. Main Sunday fixtures, we see a double header which will include Newcastle taking on Nottingham Forest, while Manchester City will take on Liverpool in an exclusive which will provide you as the show commences. In midweek fixtures, Premier League midweek fixtures, we'll see Tuesday Brighton taking on Bournemouth, while Crystal Palace take on Aston Villa. Wolves welcome Fulham, while Chelsea will take on struggling Southampton. Brentford on Wednesday take on Everton, while Manchester City travel to Tottenham Hotspur. Nottingham Forest welcome Arsenal, while Manchester United take on Ipswich Town, who they play to a 1-0 draw with in the first leg, while Liverpool will take on Newcastle on one of the all-time rivalries. West Ham United on the only game on Thursday will take on struggling Leicester City, who will be looking for 3 points. Onto our Liverpool match, onto our match exclusive. We see Manchester United City taking on Liverpool with a win probability. Manchester City Liverpool actually come in as favorites against a struggling Manchester City, who are currently placed fourth on the log, while Liverpool are currently top of the table. In the last five meetings, we both teams have won two matches, while one game has ended in a draw. The last game saw Liverpool beat City by 2 goals to nil at Anfield. Lost saw two games at Anfield. I wanted Man City will welcome Liverpool, who recently collected 5 points out of a possible nine. Now the placed position, the current champions are currently placed fourth and will be looking to avoid defeat after following an exit in the UEFA Champions League, where the champions were dominated by the Spanish opposition. That game had Erling Haaland, who had picked up a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken, as an unused substitute, and saw Omar Mazraoui play as an unused substitute. Currently underway, we see Everton have scored lead Manchester United by a goal to nil. And that game is at Goodison Park. That's Manchester United's last game at Goodison Park, as the Toffees will move to a new stadium. Now the last game saw Omar Mamush play as a false nine, whereas when they played against Newcastle, where they won by 4 goals to nil, he played as an out and out 10, with Phil Foden switching off as a 10, switching off and playing as switching to an 8 position. However, the Citizens have not won consecutive league matches against the current league leaders since a run of four between the years 1935 and 1937. We look at your key players. The Norwegian target man, Erling Haaland, will be undergoing a late fitness test. The 25-year-old currently netted 45 times in 47 Premier League games. However, the marksman was missed on Wednesday, and it remains to be seen if he is going to start or make an appearance, whether coming off the bench or starting that game on site tomorrow. Egyptian Omen Mamouche will be looking to redeem himself following the loss to Real Madrid. The 26-year-old went into the encounter on the back of a hat trick, where he was oozing with confidence. However, he was played as a false nine. Now, bear in mind, he's not an out and out false nine, which we have picked out, because in the Newcastle game, he played as a out and out number 10 and attacking midfielder. However, the 26-year-old has proven to have an excellent touch, his ability to look for spaces, and of course his liking for scoring crucial goals. Expectation: Haaland was missed. However, Pep will be hoping his regular number 9 will be fit for that encounter. Ibrahima Konate, Ibrahima Konate, and Trent Alexander-Arnold will be tasked with keeping the Egyptian Mamouche quiet, provided Trent the late that now the task will be most likely be given to Ibrahima Konate, provided Trent Alexander-Arnold struggles to keep up with the attacker. Onto Liverpool, we look at the high-flying Reds. We'll be looking to pile misery on the citizens when they meet on Sunday at the Etihad. Now the Reds come into the game having collected 5 points from a possible nine, having won two games out of having won just one game and drawn the other two to the Liverpool neighbours in the Merseyside derby against Everton, and of course most recently against Aston Villa. They played to a total draw in both games, beaten in just three games in all competitions. The Reds will be looking to do a double on City, having beaten them in December. Your key players will include free scoring Salah, who comes into the game on the back of 39 goal contributions, namely 25 goals and 14 assists, and is currently leading the goal scoring charts. Many have tipped him to dethrone Erling Haaland for the Golden Boot. He'll be looking to find the back of the net again. Another one is to look out for is Luis Diaz, who the Colombian has hardly put a foot wrong, whether coming off the bench or starting or coming on as a starter. But he knows how to make his presence felt, and he is ever consistent. He's yet to disappoint. He just doesn't disappoint. Expectation then from Liverpool, however, come into the game on a not so good record at the Etihad, having won only once in 15 matches dating back to the 2015-2016 season. Recently, having not won at the Etihad in the last seven trips, which saw four losses and three draws. That's how we end things here on All Things Football. Let's do this again next week. Let's All Things Football Unpacked. It has been real. Remember to hit the like button if you are a fan of the show. This is a safe space for soccer fanatics, of course. Tell a friend to tell a friend. There's an online preview show that's available on YouTube on the Amava Network, and of course the All Things Football Unpacked page. Let's talk all things football next week, where we bring you results, news, and fixtures. We'd like to dedicate the show to the families of Siabonga Zulu and of course Nhlanhla Masina, who we did state earlier lost their lives in a car accident from a game against the Witzer Stars. The duo were applying their trade for an APC Mozambique League side, and Pezulu FC. Condolences. Your contribution and commitment to our football will not be forgotten and will never be in vain. Sitilala ngokuthula Makeba, siyabonga, siyanxenxeza, to all the families. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you in advance. The show will be leaked as soon as it comes on. Remember to hit the like button on YouTube and subscribe and ring the bell for notification of new episodes. Until then, enjoy the show, enjoy the football. My name is Apiwe Roto. This has been All Things Football. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.